Good morning, guys. It's a beautiful morning, late September here on the Brule River, and today I'm going to be going over how I fish in early fall. I'm going to be using a spinning rod and spinners, and then my drifting rod. And the reason is there's all kinds of different fish in here right now. There's some cohos in here, there's steelhead in here, and there's also browns in here. And depending on the species of fish, either something that looks like a bait fish, which I'm mimicking with the spinner, something that looks like a bug, which I'm using a stonefly here on my drifting rod, or an egg. So I've got a yarn fly on here. So I'm going to cover all these runs using those three things for now, until I find out what the fish are actually keying on. You know, a lot of times the fresh fish that have just come in the river are still kind of used to eating smelt and whatnot in Lake Superior. So a spinner that looks like a bait fish is going to trigger them. You know, some fish that have been in here longer have eaten some salmon eggs already. That little yarn fly is going to be the key, and then pretty much anything will eat a stonefly almost any time if you can get it in front of them. So that's kind of how we're going to break these holes down. We're not going to spend a lot of time in each hole because the fish are going to stack up in certain places. If you don't get bit on one of these three things pretty quick, you might as well keep moving. So it's looking good. It's going to be a beautiful day anyway. Oh, I lost him. Crap. Well, I just had my first hit on a blue fox number 4, and it was right by my feet, and I just didn't get the hooks in them. So fish on it. Oh. So I just hooked a really nice fish, and I lost him. He broke my line, broke me off. Had the drag set right and everything, but I felt my line, and apparently I frayed it and not checked it. That was a really nice fish too, right pretty much where I had the hit on the spinner. That sucks on the Brule because you just don't get that many hits, and that was a nice fish. But gotta keep her head up and keep fishing. It's early, so I've only been fishing about half an hour here, so hopefully we'll have more chances. But that was a nice fish. Fish on. Fish on. Fish on. All right. Right in the same spot. We'll see, hopefully, if you ate the bug or the egg here. It's a decent fish. Hey, nice brown. Look at that. Look at that nice fat hen lake run brown there, probably 19-inch fish. Really pretty fish. Hit the yarn fly that time. The other one I hooked, I think, was a steelhead, so there probably is some cohos spawning right here, I'm guessing, and these are eating the eggs. But that's pretty awesome. Good start. A little redemption. Well, that was pretty cool. Obviously there's a bunch of fish stacked up in this little spot, and that's oftentimes what happens. You just got to keep moving until you find that pot of fish. There's probably more species here too. It's probably more than just browns, I'm guessing. But that one came on that egg right there. That's just a yarn fly. I teach you how to tie these yarn flies in another video. I'll leave a link up above here. But I also have put a little billy rub crayfish scent on there, and I found that to be the best scent for trout that I've used. And then behind that, I've just got a little stonefly. Sometimes that stonefly gets hit, sometimes that yarn gets hit, but that's what I'm using right now. And then a pretty lightweight, because we don't have a whole lot of current here, so I'm using a pretty small split shot. And that's where this long drift rod comes in handy. This is the Okuma SST 8'6" steelhead spin. I'll leave a link in the description for this as well, but this helps me get that rod tip way up there so I can keep that weight off the bottom as I drift, so I don't need a float. Alright, no more hits in that hole, so now we're back on the hunt. I'm going to shoot this run with the spinner a few times and then drift it a few times, and if we don't get a bite, again, we're just going to keep moving until we find some fish, and then we'll slow down and fish it. Fish on. Fish on. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Nice fish, guys. Nice fish. I just hope this fish doesn't go downstream, because if it does, I am hosed. Big fish. Don't know what it is yet. Just sitting in the current right now. I want it to go that way. I do not want it to turn around and go that way. If this thing takes off downstream, I'm just going to have to grab the camera and run here. Because there's no way I'm going to turn it. I got 8-pound leader on here. But the water's clear. That's usually what I use in clear water. It's starting to come my way here. Okay, he is fixing to go downriver, so all we can do is follow him. That's all we can do. But I am going to try and get below this fish. I'm not putting any pressure on him right now. I'm just trying to keep the line tight enough so that we don't pop the hook out. But I'm not putting any pressure on him whatsoever until I get in position downstream of this fish. Because we have even faster water coming up here. And that's bad news. Okay. Well, I fell in. Fish made it past me. I'm just letting him sit in the current now. No pressure again. Trying to get downstream of him, which is easier said than done on these rocks. Oh my goodness. That was insane. Okay, we're getting deep here, but I'm below. Oh. Oh, what a fight. That was insane. Oh, awesome fish. Well, holy smokes, that was crazy. Woo. Alright guys, that was the most insane fight I've ever had on a steelhead, I think, ever. This fish took me through 2 rapids. I don't even know how I landed it, honestly. Missed it twice with the net. That was awesome. He ate that yarn fly, and what a fish. Oh, I gotta get him unhooked here and let him go, but you just can't beat that. Okay, time to let this girl go. There she goes. Whew, let's get back to fishing. Oh, that was crazy. I soaked everything. There's water pouring out of my fishing bag. I mean, that was nuts. I fell in, fell down, tripped over rocks, missed the net job twice. But man, we got her. So let's get another one. Peach colored yarn is definitely the ticket today. That one is pretty rough shape, so I'm actually gonna put some new yarn on there before I drift again. All right, basically you guys, all I'm gonna do is slide this snell knot down, push it down with my thumbnail until I can pull that old yarn out of there, like that. Put that in my pocket, then I'm gonna cut some new and put it right in that loop. Now, that peach color may mean nothing, or it may mean that the steelhead have been in here and they're eating salmon eggs. And it also may mean that the salmon eggs are dying, which means they've already spawned a little while ago, or started spawning a while ago, so they're pretty conditioned to eating them. They turn kind of a milky opaque color when they die, so that could be why. Sometimes it's just their preference, but that would be my guess as to why peach is working so well today. And I don't really know if this billy rub is making all the difference today or not, but obviously it ain't hurting anything. So I'm just gonna get a little touch of that on there and that crayfish scent. And for whatever reason, crayfish has been my favorite for trout. It just seems to work, so I keep using it. See if we can get another one. Fish on. Oh, did he crush it? Don't know what this is yet. Feels nice though, it's not a dink. Oh yeah. It's a nice fish. Very nice fish. I was just making my way back up where I started this morning. Oh yeah. Another nice chromer. Oh yeah! I love it. All these things are awesome. Just awesome. Oh, he came out. Oh, that was a nice buck. Came off right there. But that was probably another mid-20s buck. Almost had him in the net, but that's the way it goes with these things. They're just wild fish, and they jump and go crazy and shake the hook and loosen it up, and you never know. But that was a good fight anyway. Even though we didn't get him in the bag, still a really good fight. Well, I think that's a wrap for me. It was a great morning. Went 2 for 4. You know, we had a lot of fun this morning. Some lost fish, but that's just the way it goes up here. You know, these fish are insane fish. They're strong, they jump, they're acrobatic, so you can't count on landing every fish that you hook. It's just not going to happen. But if you can hook a few fish in a morning like this, I mean, that's all you can ask for. So get hooked up, guys. We'll see you next time.